My name is MzGee, and this is my sport. It's a pleasure to have you on the other side, and I'm sure that by the time you're done this episode, you'd have picked a lesson or two from today's episode. So too many times, I hear women talk about the fact that they want to settle. Some say, I'm looking for that rich dude. It's all about the Benjamins for me, so I want to settle with him. Others say, I'm looking for security, and I think that I will be secured if I get somebody to marry me. Others say they want to marry for various reasons. Sometimes people say, I'm too much in love with this guy. I can't wait to settle with him. I don't know what marriage is about. I'm about to find out. Is it about love, money, security? Does it even guarantee that? I don't know. But that's what we'll do on the G-Spot, finding out from the celebs what they know and what they think about marriage. So let me introduce to you my guest for today. Veteran gospel star. I remember as a young girl singing her songs, you know. Some of them I still remember. I love the Dromo song, and there's another one. That's Moko Moko Be. Moko Moko Be Nitamobo. It's a very, very sweet song and brings memories from back in the day. Jude Lomote is her name, and we'll get to find out what she's been up to. Then we have on the other end, Madam, I was about to call her a certain name. No, but she's also been around a while. If you want to remember her, remember Sukrit Safo's movies from back in the day. I'm not sure she wants us to be talking about that movie again, but that's the movie that got popular. It's called Hot Fuck. And thank you very much, Baby Blanche, for joining us. She speaks her mind. And that's why, are you a Shatta fan? Or they are looking for you? Which one? But you ladies are welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are talking about marriage. And let me start with you because you're single.
Okay.
Do you fantasize, do you dream of getting married?
Of course, I think, I'm speaking for myself, my opinion, I think that it's every woman's dream to get married. I don't know, but it's arguable though. So why not? Definitely.
And you have a reason, or is it because society says at a certain age you need to get married, or because you have a particular reason you want to get married?
Okay, firstly, it's because it fulfills all righteousness as a Christian. And then secondly, in our society or the part of the world that I come from as an African and Ghanaian precisely, it's part of the demand as a woman or as a growing up person or as an adult to get married. And of course, also to have babies. So it's a whole lot. And I think marriage, because I've not been there, is a beautiful thing. And I would like to experience it.
Okay, so I'm not sure about that part where you say it fulfills righteousness, because I hear that even Peter said that if you can, you should.
Okay.
Is it Peter or Paul? There's a Bible scholar should help me. I don't know, but I know that one of them said that if you can. Yeah. But I'm sure it's Paul, not Peter. But you are married. How long have you been married for?
I'll be 20 in June.
20 years. Is it okay to ask you why you got married at that time? How old were you?
26, 27 then.
26, 27. Yeah. And you're still in music?
Yeah.
Did you get married because you were becoming popular?
No, I married before I was singing though, but I married before I became
popular. So Lomote is your husband's name?
Yeah.
Okay, your maiden name is?
Poplampo.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. But tell me, why did you get married at that time? Or why did you get married?
Like my sister said, it's a fulfillment for every young one when you get your adulthood to enter into marriage. And like Bible says, it's honorable. Marriage is honorable. So you are honored when you are married. And it's not like it says, it's not to be taken lightly. So we just don't get into marry. You have to count the costs and then enter it. But it's, when we look at round, all said and done, love should reign.
Really?
Yeah.
So for you, love should reign?
It should reign.
What's happened to the money?
They are compliments.
Okay.
They are compliments. They complement the marriage. But I think love supersedes all, because if I marry you for money and the money is no more there, what do I do? But if I marry you for love and the money is not there, I look at the love and the security you give me. So I think love should supersedes.
20 years of marriage, has love sustained you?
Oh yes.
Love sustained you, not money.
Not really. It's part of it, but it's not the ultimate. Yeah, money is not the ultimate. Well, like my sister said, I'm speaking for myself. Somebody who choose money to be her ultimate, but for me, love is the ultimate.
Hey, this love must really be big. But I'll come back to speak to you about this love. And I want to find out from her. 20 years in marriage, she says love is the ultimate. For a lot of us young ones, you know, and I have heard some preachers also say that marriage is money, number one, is money number two, money number three.
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
Money makes the world go round, they say. So, you know, listening to her, she's been there 20 years. She says it's love. You're sure?
Well, like she said, she spoke for herself. She's in her marriage and then she knows. But for me, love is not the only thing that can sustain marriage. Reason being that love fades. And I would like to marry somebody I like more to love. Because when I like you, I can take a lot of BS from you, excuse me. But when I just love you and it ends there, you know, it will fade with time. Even though I'm not married, I've been in a relationship and there were things that happened in the past that I felt, okay, did I really love him after all? Because everything just wiped off my face as if he was an enemy. So then I was like, okay, then maybe I didn't like him. I was just carried away for whatever reason. Maybe it could be infatuation. It could be anything. So afterwards, I met somebody else that I liked that even though the relationship didn't work, I still wanted friendship with the person. You understand? So I feel that likeness should be the basis of marriage before the love comes.
So this time you're introducing a new word. You're introducing likeness and not love.
Well, love is broad because, okay, when we bring it to the Christian world and all that, we're emulating God's path or Jesus' path, which is love. But I feel that likeness should be more in love. And women particularly shouldn't look for love because men are supposed to love us, not the other way around. All we are to do is to respect them and then be submissive. That's what the Bible says. So if you are going to love, you end up dying.
But will we be submissive when there's no cash?
Oh, no. No, let's be real. No. Because I cannot go, listen, in an African world, a woman is supposed to take care of the home, clean, cook, treat the old grown up as a baby, you know, pamper him and all that. But how do I do all this when there's no money? You expect me to go to work, hustle, sweat, do the same thing you're doing. Okay, let's say 12 hours a day, come back home and do all the chores, and then maybe you're not working. Even if you're working, it's still tedious for me because now I'm playing your role and then taking care of another one in the house. And I get to hear African women mostly, or Ghanaian women saying that women go and work and the men and what you have been a liability on the man. No. The world is changing. It's actually the man's obligation or it's his responsibility to take care of his woman. So there's nothing wrong if a man is spoon-feeding a woman or spending his life or his fortune on a woman. There's nothing wrong at all. So long as she's doing her part, as the Bible says, being submissive, you win a man's heart and do everything. But now the world is changing and the bills, everything is money, money, money. So the women, we also have to support. But then, I will never marry any broke person. You shouldn't be rich, but then you should be working and making an income.
We'll come back to what that means, you know, broke person and all that. And Madam Jude Lomoti, okay, Mrs. Jude Lomoti, per what, you know, baby said, when there's no money, you even lose your place as a man.
Yeah, I understand her point, but if we are going to focus everything on money, then where comes the like she's talking about?
Maybe the money will attract.
No. Can I come in?
Oh, you can.
Okay, I'm not saying that.
No, I'm just making an example.
No, she was saying that where comes in the like.
Okay.
That is the onset. To even get into the relationship and then leading to marriage, the basis is likeness, not money. I should like you, and then it will grow into love.
But his money can cause you to like him.
Well, we all have our reasons for getting attracted to somebody. I may get attracted to you because of money, and then maybe when I get closer, your personality might change. So without the money, I'll still want to be there.
So you stand married, Jude Lomoti, that you know it's not possible to dwell on or have a marriage only because there's money. Yeah,
money should not be the only thing. That's what I'm for.
Okay.
Money should not be the only thing. The standard, the yardstick, the sets. But there are other things that we can put together to make the relationship or the marriage work. But for me, I always say that it's love.
Hey, this woman must love. Oh. Hey,
I do.
Yeah, really?
I do.
Really?
Yeah, she must. The man must love her, not she loving the man.
Are you there? Baby. Anyway, so you've heard from the ladies telling us what they know or how they understand marriage. And for 20 years experience, she says it must definitely be love. As for baby dear, she's telling you her mind that a lot of things come to play. Money is also important for her. But we'll hear from the men. And when we hear from them, later on, the ladies will join them again, and then we'll have the battle of the sexes. So let's hear from the men now. What do the men think? Are they really telling us the truth? Does love constitute, or does marriage constitute love or money? Which one rules? And does it guarantee security? We'll be back.
Getting married gives some kind of fulfillment to me personally, and it makes me complete as a man.
Got to a point in time in my life, I realized that I need somebody which I can share my thoughts with, and I need somebody whom I can, have sex with. And if I can complete that aspect of my life, then I need a woman.
Welcome back from the break. It's still the G Sport here on Joy Prime. So the men have joined us now, and if you've been watching, you know that we've been talking about whether marriage is about money, or it's about love, or it guarantees security. And you heard the women Jude Lomote and Baby Blanche share their idea on marriage. Now joining us in the premises of Orca Deco, Willie and Mike. They had one great song from back in the day. I never forget that song. And when I was in school in Cape Coast Polytechnic, they were there to perform. I don't know if they remember though. So I've kept memories of them from 2000 and I think 2005 or 6. That was when they came there to perform. It's great to have you on my set.
You're welcome.
Okay, so people have confusion about who is Willie and who is Mike. So just let them know who is Willie and who is Mike.
I am Willie.
So this is Mike.
I'm Mike.
But me, what I know, Papa, is that Willie got married first before Mike did.
Exactly.
That one I know.
Exactly.
That means you've been following us.
Oh, I've followed along. Let us sing that song. Oh. Why is the
Aside to me, see I no cry. Yo, Yamia Casso Bay, no, a head and around Bay. And to me, Pinio, now I can show.
Masha said, Nesta, I might ever don't forgive me. Maybe I am Bay Coco. I love that song, and I learnt it back then when you released it, and I think it's one of the biggest songs you guys have. Sure. Okay, let's come back to G Sport. And so he married before you got married. Exactly. Were you under pressure to also get married?
No. No.
Yes,
actually, we planned a joint wedding.
Oh, okay, but he fell in love early.
We planned a joint wedding, but the school curriculum and the schedule of my wife didn't permit me to marry along him. So we just had to let him go before
he couldn't wait.
Maybe.
I see. So you didn't have pressure to marry because
never.
He got married.
Never.
But really, why did you get married?
It's a good question. As a matter of fact, first of all, it fulfills the purpose of God for my life, because when you read the Bible in a Genesis, you realize that after God gave everything to Adam, he realized that Adam is not complete. So the Bible said that he put Adam to rest. And by the time Adam realized there was somebody beside him, and Adam said that, I've now seen the bone of my bone. I'm now a complete man. I can now enjoy life. I can call myself a man because of what he saw. So getting married gives some kind of fulfillment to me personally, and it makes me complete as a man. So
does that constitute security?
For sure, in a way, because especially in this kind of our job that we are doing, when you climb to a certain stage or a certain ladder and you are not married, it's a whole lot of stuff. The kind of temptation that come along if you start to talk about, we won't live here.
The women that will send you messages, the ones who want to come and do things for
Just
you for
say,
free. Hey, sir, we'll delve into all those ones soon. But
so, finding the right person I want to be with, discover the kind of lady I want to be with, and by the grace of God, getting along with her and she becoming my wife, it gives me some kind of security. And that makes me know that indeed I've gotten what I want. You've
gotten what you want.
Yeah.
Some of the things I'm sure he spoke about, you also say the reasons you got married.
For me, the main reason why I got married was companionship.
Okay.
Yes, and I think within the companionship lies, sexual satisfaction. Within that lies financial security. Within that lies, love and likeness. So it got to a point in time in my life, I realized that I need somebody which I can share my thoughts with. I need somebody which I can share my feelings. And I need somebody whom I can, have sex with. And if I can complete that aspect of my life, then I need a woman in my life.
In your life. And yes. I like the fact that you talked about, finances as well.
Yes.
Did you consider, what your girlfriend at the time, who has become your wife now, was doing, how much she was going to bring on the table and all that before you finally decided, this is the one I'm settling with?
Oh, not really. But as a man, I had my criteria. I had my, what I was looking for from a woman. And that one too was one of them, but not the primus inter pares or the ultimate. Yeah, it was also part of it, but then no, that wasn't what I was looking for. Number one, I married my wife let me be frank here, because for me she was beautiful to me. Secondly, she was the kind of woman that I liked physically. And she
was endowed behind or in front? Because I say physically, you have to describe
yeah, physically, she appealed to
front,
me.
Back, which one?
Oh, come on.
Tell us, we also want to know. So we want to know your taste.
She's slim.
Like slim girls. Hey,
yeah, she's slim.
CG,
yeah. And then we were more like friends before we got into this married thing. I quite remember I met her on the University of Ghana campus. We were doing exchange program, and out of we developed some kind of friendship, and then one thing led to the other. So before I got married to her, we were friends.
Does marriage kill the urge to, admire somebody else or to fall in love with somebody else? Because people are saying that marriage is about love, but I've heard people also say that they can love two people at a time. So is marriage, a guarantee that you won't fall in love with somebody else, or you can't find somebody else to fall in love with?
Personally, I would say no. But one thing that I have come to realize in this life is about your values. You know something? The fact that you've married doesn't mean that you won't see any other lady that you don't like, or you not be tempted to, be attracted to. But the thing is, what are you going for? What are you going for that lady? That's the question.
Timen mentioned of something that I would like to ask about. Right. The fact that, when you marry, because of the kind of job you do, yeah, you need to stay, But have you guys been tempted?
Yes. Yes. As for the temptation, even when you get married, that is where it rises.
I hear so.
That is where it rises, because there's a perception out there that the married men are the most responsible guys you can have.
Hey, you've been talking to ladies, pal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so once you are married, that is where the challenges rise. But you have to be content with what you have and focus, and then know where you want to get to. And what you also have to consider the kind of woman that you have. For instance, in my case, my wife is such that we are like friends. We don't hide anything.
So you tell her when somebody drops a message in your...
Sometimes.
Do you also do that? Say, hey, Ashimesi, come and see you. Somebody
Sometimes.
Just drop a message in
Of course, I do.
Is it because you're afraid that she might find out?
No, sometimes, my lady herself, she knows the kind of person I am.
Or she has access already to those
Not
things.
access to, like, maybe my pet. My wife is the type that even when you give your phone to her to just, she will not even do it. She like that type. And she herself, sometimes she told me that, I don't know, maybe in this life anything can happen. Other than that, you are the kind of guy that I've come to trust so much that if somebody come and even tell me that Willie has done something with me, I won't believe it. Hey. That is the kind of confidence I've built in her.
Yeah. Okay, so Willie and Mike here on the G Sports representing the men for the topic, is love, is marriage about love or money? Does it guarantee security? And they've been sharing their part or their thoughts with us. But it's time for us to have the battle of the sexes.
I mean, you should be financially secured.
No, but you see, somebody can say they are financially secured and gets the person wedded. But when she comes home, the security nothing. Is not in the house anymore.
Yeah, and this is caused by the women of today. You know why?
By him.
Yeah, this is caused by the women of today and the society.
I disagree.
My dear, that is the reality. Even if I had not done wedding, I wouldn't know there's something called bouquet. Bouquet. They will say bouquet. That bouquet alone, I mean, the price.
But you see, but you are not being forced to.
Exactly.
You are not being forced. This, the ladies of today.
You are not being forced to.
On the G Sport, on Joy Prime. My name is MzGee. It's my sport. Now, let's battle our thoughts out. So we're asking, what is marriage? Is it about love? Is it about money? Does it guarantee security? If you just joined us, you've missed out a great deal because we've had, Jude Lomote and Baby Blanche in the first round telling us their minds as women, and then we had Willie and Mike in the second round telling us their thoughts as men. Now it's battle of the sexes. We have all four of them joining us on this round, and we are talking about the issue that matters most to a lot of us. Some people are already married. You're still wondering, did I get into this marriage for love? I was looking for money. I don't see the money in the marriage. But no, let's come to business. Welcome all of you once more. And so where do I even start from? So there's been a lot of talk about security, if you've been following, especially with William and Jude Lomote, and even to some extent Mike has been talking about the fact that marriage grants, some form of security. Do you think that it is some security you want to buy into? Do you think that marriage will even grant you some security?
Security in which sense? Security is a broad word.
Because they are saying that, I heard Mike and then Willie also say that, as for Mike's own is deep, he says he wanted to have sex.
Okay.
And so, he got somebody that he could
sex is a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Legitimately with.
Yeah.
Willie tells me about the fact that, he wanted to, like you said, he also wanted to fulfill God's purpose for his life and blah, blah, blah. So to some extent, there's some security when you get married. Per what they are telling me, do you buy into that?
Well, I think marriage itself constitutes of a lot of things, but it's not guaranteed. The security is not guaranteed. It takes the grace of God in everything that we do. You might marry for sexual pleasures, like for you to be able to do it legitimately, but then again, you can be tempted. So if you don't have the grace, you can still seek it outside, thinking that you've done the right thing by paying all the marriage rights and all that, but you can still find yourself out there, something you never bargained for, you understand? So life itself, nothing is guaranteed. Even as we sit here, the next second is not guaranteed. It takes grace.
It really takes grace indeed. And people have talked about sacrifices. And I've been wondering, who should sacrifice and what should the person sacrifice? I don't know about you. You have been talking about love. So you're a love queen. So what do we sacrifice in marriage? Because I've heard people say marriage is a lot of sacrifice. What do we sacrifice?
We sacrifice everything, our love, our body, our hearts, everything.
Who should sacrifice?
Both. It's a partnership. We are into partnership.
But I hear somebody sacrifices more than the other.
Well, per... Well, per what we know or what we've heard, sometimes the men take up a huge chunk of the sacrifice. But women too have...
Let's see, the expression of
in Africa here, they usually say women, you have to sacrifice, you have to do this to make the home work. So, mommy, I think women rather sacrifice.
We do sacrifice, but a lot of the thing comes from the men. Like, we make the home. They have to provide. So we are making home. Who provides for you to make a home?
Have you ever gone that, I don't want to use broke, but down on cash, that you've had to consult your wife for money?
As a matter of fact, not really.
You've never asked for her assistance,
but trust me, when it got to that point in my life, and being the women that I know I've married, I can ask her.
You can ask her.
Of course.
Maybe because you haven't done so, because I hear that when a woman begins to give you her money, the respect she has for you begins to dwindle, no matter how much she loves you.
I beg to differ in a point. It depends on you, the men. Like, some guys try to take advantage of their women kind-heartedness, or like the other side of them. Anytime a guy decided to go out with a lady or want to marry a lady, the guy himself knows certain things that maybe he can't voice it out. It's within him. He knows the reason why he want to go for this particular lady. Example, maybe this is the kind of lady, maybe whatever, even if she has nothing, she will make sure she will go all mile to make you guys happy. Because we guys, if there is no money, sometimes you feel uncomfortable. So there are some ladies, they can watch closely to their men and see that, as for my guy, if he don't have money, he's not happy. So sometimes maybe at the end of the month, he knows when you are supposed to get your salary, you've married, and because of some kind of stuff in the house, maybe the money is not flowing as at that month. She can sacrifice, okay, darling, this thing is your responsibility. Or maybe she might not even say it, but by the time you realize she has done it.
But can money be a reason why some marriage will not work?
Sure. The reason is in our African setting, before a man goes in for a woman, you are expected to be financially sound. Yes.
But financially sound is relative. Somebody can have 5,000, they think they are financially sound.
You should be able to, you should be provident.
Okay.
You should be provident. So there's this kind of saying in Akan that, Oba tutu ya chrebema dem. Do you know the meaning? That means that when the woman goes out to get, or when she goes out to incur any debt, is the guy or the man who is supposed to take care of that. Even
when he's not sent here.
That is it. So as a man, in our custom, you have to be financially sound. You must, before you marry, you should be financially secured.
No, but you see, somebody can say they are financially secured and gets the person wedded. But when she comes home, the security is not in the house anymore.
Yeah, and you see all these things.
So all the security he has, he's used it to marry you. You've come, let's start from scratch.
And this is caused by the women of today. You know why?
By him.
Yeah, this is caused by the women of today and the society.
I disagree.
My dear, that is the reality. Now,
what do the women of today do?
Now, before you marry, the ladies, there's this site on Instagram and stuff, they call them I do GHM, blah, blah, something. They will take you there.
Of course.
I want this. I want that. I want deco. Now, deco, some of them cost 45,000 Ghana cedis. Per that, one ceremony, is 45,000. Per deco, that's deco. The gown, some of them cost $10,000. I'm telling you. The food, they want
the shoes.
Even if I had not done wedding, I wouldn't know there's something called bouquet. Bouquet. They will say bouquet. That bouquet alone, the price.
But you see,
but you are not being forced to.
Exactly.
You are not being forced. The ladies of today.
We are not being forced to.
Being financially sound is relative. So you look at your level and you go for the level of woman you can. No, let's be real. Prince Harry went for a superstar. Look at Prince Harry. No amount. How much will you charge him that he can afford? Now, let's say, with no disrespect, you want to get married to me. Okay, we talk. I know your financial status. Because this is marriage. I have to know everything about you before I get into it. So we talk, baby, this is what I can afford. This is beyond me. We plan. And then we do it beautifully. Why must we necessarily go for whoever, I don't want to do commercial for anybody, that will cost that much. We can have somebody who can do it equally beautiful at a lesser price.
But he doesn't have that amount to spend.
He doesn't have, so it's communication. We understand that.
But will you agree?
Okay, that's
It depends. That is when the love comes in. That is when the love comes in.
So,
if I love you and I want to be with you, I said before I went on the break that I can't be with a broke man. What is broke is also relative.
Yeah.
So, exactly, I need a working man. I need a man with a vision. I know that, okay, this man, if I give him a year or two, he'll be better than he is. So then I get into a relationship with him. We plan our marriage. If you want to marry in the next 2 years and you can afford it, you can plan now. If you get one city, you buy this and put out. Everything is planning and communication. You don't do things that will break the bank or your neck because you want to impress somebody. Do something that you feel you're comfortable. If the woman loves you and understands you and respects you enough, she will meet up with your...
But you're sounding like somebody who would also say, okay, we want to marry. I want to afford a decor of, like you say, 45,000. You have 25,000. Okay, take 20,000 and add to it. Would you do that?
Take 20,000 and add to it. If I have. Okay. That is if I have. But if I don't have, that's what I'm saying that...
If you have means what?
I should add 20,000 to it. If I have the money. But if I don't have the money to add to it, why
would
would
I
I
only
put
20,000 on you? You would have taken all your 20,000.
Why should I? That's what I'm saying.
That's what I want to understand. This
I've already explained. No, I'm saying that it could be that I'm financially okay than the man I want to marry. Because my focus is not the richest. My focus is him making an effort, not being a lazy man working. Okay. Yeah. You understand? So if I have more than him, I don't know if you said that you can push your man, but most of the African men, the way they pay the women back, that's why the women have become so smart that, if I have my money and support you, then later you tell me that, hey, you've gotten money, you are now seeing women who are beautiful and better than me. So go and sweat and come and
you know, it's easier said than done.
Exactly.
Normally, when they want you,
okay,
they will say all the sugar. I mean, they will calm
down.
When
the women want you.
Especially when the wedding is closer, they will submit. They will do everything. But once they see that your heart has come in, that is where, honey, this
your heart has come where?
your heart is inside. I mean, I'm speaking literal English.
I understand that.
Yeah. I mean, when they realize that you are really involved in what you are doing, that is where they, honey, the bouquet, the one we went and saw.
So it's like you are speaking from experience.
The one we went and saw. I think this one will be better. Why not go and consider that one?
Why don't you have a budget? You have a budget.
Sometimes the budget
can change.
It increases automatically.
No, but seriously, on a very serious, I agree with that. Sometimes because you write the things on paper, you go and it's like you're saying, she's seen some bouquet that is nicer than the one you saw previously. It might be more expensive than what you saw previously. So the budget there.
And the ring. Sometimes you take all your time, go for maybe this ring. The next time she goes on the internet and she sees another ring and say, Annie, we have to go for this. And you see that the budget, I mean, once you are drawing the money, you are crying.
What we are looking at is not just the 2 hour.
Mama, that is
the
reality.
Beyond.
No, but
that is what is going on.
Yeah, I understand. But as a man, as a man, sometimes you have to put your feet down and say that this is how far I can go.
Then you marry you.
Why not?
No. So
you want it like what he's saying. You want a particular ring. You have gone to choose one. You want another one the next morning when you wake up.
He can't afford it. So I don't want him. Then why are we even getting married in the first place? Then you are marrying the wrong woman.
But he's not able to afford that ring that you want. You will compromise.
So am I marrying the ring?
Are you going to compromise?
We will talk.
No,
he can't afford it. He can't afford it.
Will you compromise?
Yes.
Sometimes we need to
go for the other one.
Me, baby Blanche, I will compromise, but maybe other women will not. I'll compromise because I am not marrying the ring. The ring is only a symbol.
Yeah, it's the person.
You understand? So,
it's the person.
So you're making a point. You said the men have to put their feet down.
Oh yes. That doesn't mean you are being over strict, but it's like this is like she said. It's communication. And if we are married and we can't communicate and to understand each other, then where are we heading towards?
But do you think that the expectations of, because you married 20 years ago, you think the expectations of the young ones these days are too high?
Well, that is their world, so I can't talk for them. Actually,
I'm sure at that time, somebody 20 years ago said, oh, you to your own
Oh, yes, 20 years ago, I was like, I always wanted a societal wedding.
Okay.
And that is what I had.
Okay.
Okay, but that is according to me. I have other siblings. My elder sister is a quiet type. So we had it very quiet. We did it, everything quiet. And she's still married anyway. I was just telling her, when my kids look at my guy, I say, Mommy, put it down. Because it's like, that time, that was the vogue. And we're following vogue. But today, if you tell me to do that, I won't do it. I'll prefer to go to the Registrar General and then sign, or ask Pastor to do it like now.
Why the sudden change of mind? Or why have you changed your mind over the years?
Because I am looking at not today, the future.
These demands are even made even before the wedding. Oh, I want a man who has got a house, he has a car already, and we don't want to go and live in a rented apartment and all that. These are some of the things.
It's absolutely true, but me, for instance, when you judge me by my parents, you get it all wrong. Regardless of how rich I am fortunate to find a man, I wouldn't want a loud wedding.
Yeah.
That's my personal thing. I would want something very quiet. He might be very rich and be able to, unless my husband insists, like that is his dream, then we come to a compromise again. But the reality is, now we are moved by society, the youth of today. Okay, Amma had this. Amma was my colleague in school. She was a nobody. Why should Amma's wedding be better than mine? So I have to do, they have to compete. It's a whole lot of competition going on. And it makes no sense at all.
But I hear so many people get disappointed, you know, when they get married, because like we've all been talking about, you know, when she says, oh, honey, like I say, honey, change the bouquet, you change. Honey, buy this, you buy. But when she gets married now, she says, honey, let's go and eat out. You say, hey, I paid your bride price, enter the kitchen.
That's right.
And then she begins to ask you that, but this is not how, you know, you treated me during our courtship days and all that.
Yeah. For me, there's something I say, pressure from women. If you're a guy and you are not careful, it will kill you before your time. That is why most men die
Heart attack
than women. Yes.
When you say pressure from women, what does that mean?
Women, when you are dealing with women and you are not very careful,
You have not said anything.
oh yeah, you will die before your time.
But what have you said? You have not said anything. Oh,
Please don't generalize.
Okay, some women. The pressure starts from... No. I'm just being general. I'm just being realistic. That is the reality. Yeah. Women in general, when you are dealing with them and you don't deal with them wisely, they will cause you to do something that will end up in disaster.
Like what? You have been saying this, but you have not said anything.
It starts from the wedding planning, as we were saying. When they bring all that demands, and you don't act fastly, or you don't tell them that, hey, I'm the guy, I'm the man, and then you don't do what is right.
You don't have you say I'm the man.
I'm telling you. not I don't have
your ability to be the man determines the
what you have.
Man,
you see,
I don't agree with
but
that.
you also said that you have to be responsible and take care of
you should.
But you know, the responsibility goes beyond
your finances.
Not the finances per se, but it's like what Mike is saying. Maybe we've drawn a budget, and you know this is not just a one-day thing that we're about to do. The wedding itself is a temporary thing. And at the end of the day, maybe the money is there all right. We've calculated this thing. You go somewhere, you talk to your friends, and your mind change. Now we decided to go for this ring. Maybe it's 1,000 Ghana cedi. Then you come, oh, babe, I've seen another ring. How much? 5,000. Oh, babe, don't you know you have to go in for that? Babe, it's okay, but I think you know how I am. This time around, it's not about you being the man or being responsible.
But it's about what?
It's a matter of faith. Let's start face the realities. If I go do this wedding ring,
we'll
for
be hungry
maybe
for 5 days.
Not being hungry. The thing is, by the time we finish the wedding, we may incur some debt we have not planned for. And when it comes to this point, and I have to provide for the house and make sure you're happy, because mind you, I'm not picking you from your parents' house to come and maltreat you or to make you feel sad. It's my desire to always see you happy.
Finally, before we go, I want to find out what sustains, or what do you think can sustain a marriage? You have been in for 20 years, and you've been talking about love, but you said there are some, you know, accompaniments.
So I'll say it's the grace of God, because these other things are there, but when the grace is not there, we all find ourselves humbling. So we need the grace to go through. Without the grace, it's nothing. And then the love comes. Love divine of love, excelling joy. Then we go. So I believe in the grace of God. and then the love, and then the other things follow.
No, follow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll also talk about prayer. Because there are certain things that...
But somebody said that we went to pray fast and we
know,
got the man. After
you
the
know,
wedding, we have to
my
pray
dear,
and fast.
You know, there are certain things that is beyond our strength. In life, there are certain things you realize you have not bargained for, but before you realize it's coming upon you. But the Bible says that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And anybody that knows how to pray, that knows how to communicate to God, no matter whatever the situation may be, God will see you through.
Yeah, that's true.
So the little advice that I can give to those that are getting married, those that are in marriage already is, no matter whatever the situation is, even if you have a hot argument with your man or with your lady, at the end of the day, come to the point of praying. Because I have come to realize the prayer can supersede anything and bring the will of God into pass in the marriage.
So, Mike.
Well, I'll follow what my mama said, that the grace of God. Because without the grace of God, you even just immediately after the wedding, it can collapse or you could suffer divorce. So the grace of God is very, very important. And secondly, as a man, you have to be hardworking in all aspects so that you can provide.
Hey, all aspects, explain.
Oh, yeah. On bed,
Yeah.
pocket, you have to be strong.
The
reason is, the reality is that if you are not capable in those areas, there wouldn't be happiness in the house. So you have to be hardworking in those areas, and also there should be tight communication between the two of you. When the communication comes and is very perfect, the marriage will go on smoothly.
What are you taking into marriage?
I would also like to advise our women. These days, the respect and submissiveness is not there. So please, aside the men provide...
What would be their cause?
It will be a topic for another day. Because
the way you are saying it, I'm sure you have sat behind... You know, sometimes they say single people are able to, you know, give better counseling.
Yes, I do a lot. Funny enough, I've counseled a lot of married people that you have no idea.
Because you are sitting behind and you're seeing the problem, you know, they might not be seeing. So what seems to be the cause? Is it the financial instability?
I feel that men, the only thing you can do to please a man is to respect him. That is what men are looking for. It's not sex. All those things are bonus. Fine,
if
it's
you
good.
Say respect him, how? Hey, good morning, massa.
Oh,
please,
no.
walk on me, massa.
No.
Respect.
You know, some women, when a man says one, she'll say 20,000. She might be right. She might be right, but the way she'll handle the issue will even make her be guilty or like be at fault now. So my point is patience. And patience, when you have a lot of patience, it comes across like respect. So yes, we should try. It's not easy now that we feel that, okay, we are all working class people. Equality. Please, the Bible, you want the men to provide, so you to play your part and be submissive and respectful. That's all. It will help.
Okay, so that's it for, you know, their thoughts on what marriage is about, whether it's about love, you know, money, or it guarantees security. But we have another, you know, brief segment where we get to ask them things that pertain to the industry or has to do with what they do, blah, blah, blah. And baby is already scared of what is coming to her. I'm not starting with you. I'll finish with you. With judelomative. So I wrote this question down, and because I knew we were going to talk about marriage, and I'm sure all of you will answer. Apart from you, they all answer questions about marriage, so don't worry. So you see, so the question is there a problem with gospel stars and marriage? Because back in the day, and it's still pertaining now, you know, most of the female gospel stars began to have problems with their marriages. And I wrote a couple of names. I don't know whether it's right to mention. So I can talk about Esther Smith. I can talk about, even recently, now she's called Bapa Christie. We still are hearing, it's unconfirmed about Gipsy Osei. But back in the day, we had... what's the name of this worship leader with ICGC Sakumono? Mary Ganza. We have Stella Dugan. You know, a lot of them from back in the day. What's the with gospel music stars, female gospel music stars, and marriages? You have done 20 years. So
yeah. Like my lady said, it still comes back to submissiveness, because sometimes when we become stars, we assume that we are all over the place, so whatever the man says doesn't matter anyway. The person is in love with you. I go back to my love. He will overlook some things, but when you think you are the superstar. So when he talks, it's like, I'm on TV, I do this, I talk, and then, hey, when I wear wine, it will not work. Because my lady said, Bible asks us to be submissive for the men to love us. So you do your part, and the man also
do his part.
Thank
you very much. So let's go to Willie now. And this question, I think, is because people are a group and you might have to answer, two of you might have to answer. I have a feeling that most of the music stars are afraid of Brother Sami and Estopuku. You can't call them to order. To some extent, people feel that they are disgracing, you know, the body of Christ.
Oh, okay. I think both Brother Sami and Enes are like brothers to us. Yeah. Personally, I call Sami. I told Sami, I've seen so many comments are coming on your Facebook. Check certain things. And at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about the name of Christ. So sometimes it's not about you yourself, but the people behind. So personally, if I hear something and it's not good, I call him, brother, this is what is going on. I think if you can do something about it, just do. For the sake of the name of Christ. If he listens to me, fine. If not, what can I do?
What else can you do? So I'm sure, okay, he's answered, you know, the fact that you guys will call them and put them together. Do you also call him?
Yeah, I do.
Did you call Enesopoko after the Nayas incident?
We spoke today. Yes.
First of all, how do you feel as a fellow gospel artist?
What I would say is that nobody is perfect. And trust me, as musicians, we face attacks. Sometimes, a lady you wouldn't think of. A lady, if you were not a star and you approached, would just dump you. That lady will, dump herself on you when you're a star. So we go through a lot as young men. It's not easy. So all that I would appeal to all those that are watching us is that when you see that somebody has gone into that kind of problem, you better pray for the person, because we are humans.
Yeah.
We have our weaker sides also.
Hey, baby, why do you have that look on your face? Okay, so have you heard anybody say that you are bisexual? Have you heard people say
Goodness me, as I did here, so. Then the person has a problem. Have I heard? No.
You've not heard anybody say you are bisexual?
To me, or maybe behind me, but to me, I've not heard.
But are you bisexual?
I can never be. It's impossible. Impossible can't. I can't.
You cannot be.
No.
Okay. You get a lot of people criticizing you with a lot of things, and sometimes I hear that sometimes you recall and sometimes you shed a tear.
Yes, I'm human. Yeah. I'm human, and you know, sometimes you don't mean it as it comes across, or you know, we are all different from different backgrounds. So what I might say and feel it's okay might not sound very well to someone. And back in the day it was severe, but now I've grown to a scale. I don't even care anymore. I don't even listen. I don't even read. I will read if I'm bored and laugh over it, because the funny thing is the people that even insult or criticize, let me use that word rather, are people who don't know you and can never get to know you. Yeah. So why worry? Like, perfect or brighten the little corner that you find yourself. So anybody who is, I wouldn't use the word privilege, let me be rather privileged to meet them, gets to know that, oh, she's a very different person. She's so bubbly. She's a different person altogether. And I wouldn't want to disclose everything. It's my job. Show business comes with a whole lot. So it's fine. I'm okay. You're okay with it. So thank you very much, Jude Lomote, Willie, and Mike, and Baby Blanche for joining us on the G Sport. That'll be it for the G Sport today's edition from the premises of Orca Deco. Thanks to Orca. Pass through, get some great furniture from Orca for your home, your office, and even for outdoor, your dining sets. All of them can be acquired here at Orca Deco. My name is MzGee. Thanks to my production team, Torch, Ni, hey, Charlie, Dean in the door.